Morning, HPC. Good to have you with us. Thank you for joining us again. I hope that you've read the Bible passage. We're looking this morning at 1 John chapter 4, the first 6 verses. If you haven't, please do pause this, go away, read that, and then come back and see what you make of my ponderings. Nothing particularly revolutionary, I don't think, this morning, but I pray it will be a blessing nonetheless. John is concerned. He's concerned not just that his readers might lack love, like Cain did, but actually that they might also lack spiritual discernment, that they might fail to see the spiritual reality behind what some people were teaching. And so he gives them a test, a way of discerning, of understanding what's really going on in the lives and hearts of people. Verse 1, he says, doesn't he, do not believe every spirit. The Christian faith is not a faith that built on gullibility. We are not to be people just because someone who stands there is wearing a dog collar and is holding a Bible and is standing in a church building, that we think, well, automatically we must listen to them. Just because someone is very friendly and very smiley, very persuasive, just because lots of other people watch their material or say that that person is good or read their books, we are not to be people who just go, oh great, well they must be fine then. No, we're to recognise that actually everyone's life and doctrine is moulded by unseen spiritual realities, and we are to test those spirits. We are to, the way in which that can be done is by observing both what people say and how they live. So their doctrine and their conduct. Those two pillars are key in the New Testament to discerning whether someone speaks by the Spirit of Christ or by the spirit of the evil one. It's why, for example, in the New Testament letters, we're told time and again that leaders are to live in a certain way, because it's not just good enough to believe something, it is actually the outworking of that belief in their life that proves that they are people who are genuinely following Jesus. So the actions of people can be tested by observing their doctrine and their conduct, and by the gift of discernment, by saying to the Lord, Lord, please help me to see what is going on here. False prophets are those who claim to speak for God, but are actually speaking by demonic influence, verses 3 and 4. And in today's age of tolerance and acceptance and inclusivity, to be discriminating, to be discerning, can be viewed as being judgmental. But Jesus taught us, in John chapter 7, verse 24, do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment. And here John is saying, here's right judgment, use this, here's the rule, here's the measure against which Christian leaders are to measure up. Verse 2 says, this is how you recognize the Spirit of God. And John establishes a doctrinal standard, specifically one based on Jesus, which enables us to test the spirits. He says if a spirit or if a person moved by a spirit does not confess that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh, then that spirit and that person are misleading God's people. Apparently, many people were coming and saying that Jesus only appeared to be human. Now, this probably had to do with an ancient Greek idea that physical things, flesh, bodies, food, that physical things were bad and evil and to be disregarded, and that the higher things were spiritual only. Therefore, physical bodies were bad, evil, and therefore Jesus, as God the Son, couldn't have come in a physical body because, well, no one would do that, would they, if they were really properly spiritual. Verse 3 tells us that whoever refuses to acknowledge that Jesus is God the Son, who came in the flesh, isn't from the Lord. And that's significant, isn't it, for us today? Lots of religions have a place for Jesus. Lots of religions think that he is a good man, a teacher, a prophet. Lots of cults say that what Jesus says is important, but they're using him as a springboard, as a jumping off point, and failing to honour him as divine, failing to say that he is God the Son who has come in the flesh, unless those people confess that Jesus is both 100% fully God, 100% fully man, united, then they're not truly confessing Jesus. In fact, as John states in verse 5, they are from the world, and unsurprisingly, he says, the world listens to them. Jesus didn't convince the powerful. Even the crowds proved quite fickle during his lifetime, didn't they? The world loving to hear worldly things rather than spiritual things. I hope that's helpful. I hope that you feel equipped to be discerning as you carry on reading the scriptures, carry on hearing people, I hope, me and David teaching you the Bible. Have a really good day, HPC.